Okay, yo, what's up, everybody? This is Zero, and today, we're having the postulated YouTube. I know it's been we ain't had it in a minute, but we'll try to make this once a month thing. So that pressure ain't so much on ladies, and it's kind of more memorable that way. So right now I have Miss Floral and Uppity Unicorn right now. And I did invite a couple others that ladies that were supposed to show up, but I guess maybe they'll come through a little bit later. So uh, I'll let those introduce themselves if they're available.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. My name is Miss Florella Sarah, and I'm just glad to, be able to be up here with such a fine YouTuber. And I'm not talking about, just just looks, just an awesome person, Zero, and I appreciate the invite.
Oh, anytime. And I don't know if Uppity is still available right now, but anytime she want to chime in, she can.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but yeah, while we're I guess till she can't come back or whatnot. Uh, we'll talk about what the time of day, remembering 2020 and move forward in 2021. Because I mean, I know, like, a lot of people, with 2021, like, some people say it was a horrible year and all that, and I guess trying to figure out how 2021 is going to be. But me honest, I don't think 2021 was that horrible of a year, but
You mean
some people,
2020?
yeah, 2020, that's what I mean, yeah, 2020. I don't think it was that. Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, I ain't even 2021 ain't really even started yet. But
I
yeah,
think some of us might be ready for it to end already, though.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna go your thoughts. Like, why you think people think it ready for the end already?
Cause the way it started, it's like uh 2020, the sequel.
Huh?
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people say like, put like 2021 as 2021.
Yeah, part one.
No. I'm talking about like say it's one or something.
Uh-huh.
And then
Yeah.
I think I seen a meme like where like they were counting down, and then like when they're supposed to get to zero, like start New Year, it was like 2020.2 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Mhm. Exactly. Um I I don't know. It's not honestly, to me, what's going on is not that much of a surprise, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, I just, as far as in 2020, difficult in terms of, well, it was challenging, especially if, or most challenging to those who want to remain in their comfort zones
Yep.
and want to keep things status quo. Yeah, 2020 was extremely uncomfortable for you. Um, not much of a surprise. It just seems like and in my opinion, the hypocrisy is at an all time high, and 2021 seems to have like turned that up a notch or two.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think yeah, I think like hypocrisy, like always gonna be gonna be high. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it was like 2020 just put like I said, it was always there. But 2020 just put it on full display.
Well, I mean, think
Center
about
stage.
well, I mean, I guess if you wanted to move forward, you really have no choice but to get out your comfort zone. If you don't want to go, if you don't want to move forward, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
then yeah, like you said, you're gonna have a tough time.
Mhm.
Extremely tough time.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, within like I was like, I had to make some changes, but I did appreciate it because it it kind of changed up some things that had this not happened, I probably would have been stuck at the same spot I was at and not really you know doing getting getting where I want to, because like like driving now I'm gonna probably get paid like some good money now. Like I mean, even though the job I had like before the whole pandemic happened was cool
Mhm.
and I learned stuff, whatever. It just like the pay situation was kind of like not ideal. I was like, can't be trying to trying to make it through make it through like next couple of weeks through you know by getting paid every week. I can't get paid every 2 weeks and then try to stretch that out.
Yeah.
And thanks to this pandemic, because I was thinking like, wow, okay, this is a kind of I was thinking like, man, this is I was like, man, this is messed up. Like I had to go ahead. I had to I had to I had to I was forced everybody was forced to quit. Had to be let go. So it's like
Mm-mm.
I was like, man, I was like I was was a little upset, and that was one thing I was upset, but at the same I mean, but at the same time, it kind of made me want to gonna find something else. I mean, I didn't go right away because I was like, yeah, give me a little bit, give me like 2 3 days, like really just kind of enjoy it a little bit before before I go back, before I had to really just go back out.
Yeah. Yeah.
so so yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny, like one of the coworkers I was working with there, like we were it was like last day working there, like and like I think he came in later. He was like, and he was looking. He's like, man, I don't even really want to even be here. It's gonna be slow. And I'm like saying, I said, you might as well stay. You still get. I mean, you get paid. I don't. You gonna get paid. So I'm like, I say, if you go home, you don't get paid. But if you stay here, you at least get paid. Yeah, you might not like it, but at least it's money in your pocket. He was like,
Right.
oh man. He was like, nah, I'm just gonna go home. So, all right. And then that following day, that was when they said letting everybody go. He was like, man, I should have came to work. So I told you. I said, you wanted to go home.
That's true. You definitely have a point there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Patty. Yeah, I don't know. It's not connecting you for some reason. I see you, but I can't bring you in. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with StreamYard.
I think it's a whole lot of
You might need to refresh. Hi there. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry it took so
Hi.
long.
Hi,
Oh
Effie.
yeah,
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
see.
as well. Zero, you said you're having a problem bringing somebody up?
like if someone's doing it, like they'll say like device not connected. So it's like I see her, but I can't.
Oh, okay,
I
that's
get.
so important. She has to grant StreamYard permission to use her microphone as well as her camera. Even if she eventually closes her camera and mutes her microphone, she has to grant that initial permission so that her device can connect. So that's 0% your fault.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I know it wasn't wasn't my fault.
Yeah, that's all her.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I make it. I was like, it's like I try to click on it, but if it don't connect, I can't do anything.
Right, there's nothing you can do about that. So I'm so late, and you guys have been so patient with me. Thank you. I think I'm about 11 minutes behind. Sis, on the
That's all right.
panel, I'm not quite sure you are. I'm very familiar with Zero. He is my favorite moderator. What's your name and a little bit of a resume, if you don't mind? I want to kind of get a feel for what you do.
Well, my name's Miss Florola Sarah. I have been on YouTube for a number of years. Actually, in 1 month and 1 day, I will have been on here for 13 years. Now, I have not been making videos consistently for those 13 years,
Wow.
but I have been around these YouTube streets for a number of years. I do a little bit of everything on my channel. It basically started out as for me it's a journey back to self and kind of sharing, any roads and avenues that I feel like I might need to go down in order to get there. The main one has been, I would say, locking my hair. I started my lock journey, and I've pretty much documented that up until about year. Let's see. I think my last update was like year 6. Yeah, the 6th year. I do still have my locks. They haven't gone anywhere. I talk a little bit about gardening. I dabble in that. Saving money. Basically, just like I said, trying to unpeel all of these layers, that have been placed upon us, all these unnatural layers, to get back to, finding out who the real me is. So just, and sharing what I learn and what I come up with.
Can I ask what your lock method is?
I started with braid locks. I braided my hair and let it lock.
Wow, and you have all that documented on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
I sure do.
I need to subscribe to. I've always wanted dreadlocks, but my family is really very my family's very attached to my hair because it represents my grandmothers. So you know how some kids, they come out and they have the dad's hair, the mom's hair, the aunt's hair.
Mm-hmm.
Very representative of my two, both my maternal and my paternal matriarch. So they're like, well, we don't want you to lock your hair. And I'm just like, okay, it's not just my hair. It's a representative of my, most recently dearly departed ancestors. So my hair has become in my family a bit of a communal property, which I don't mind at all. But if you look on my channel, I've got a great big afro. But I've always, my sister had locks. And I think also because of my sister's lock journey, because my oldest sister locked my middle sister's hair. So basically, they were just going for beauty. And what ended up happening was traction alopecia, hair that wouldn't grow back in one specific space. Thank God it's only one specific space, because any more than that would have been really hard on a woman. But they didn't know any better. They didn't know anything about crochet method. They didn't know anything about braid method. They didn't know anything about, I think sister locks were just coming out, but there was so much going on with the sister lock franchise and whether or not it's okay to do those baby teeny weeny locks anymore, that the woman who started it had. And so they were just down with the beeswax.
Mm.
Beeswax gets heavy, heavy, heavy. And by the time my sister's locks grew past her waist, her scalp was like, look, you
Yeah.
have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to choose, or I'm going to choose for you. And
Mm, yeah.
the lock in the middle was, I mean, there's scar tissue under there, you know?
Oh,
We
wow.
massage it, we kiss it, we put, you know, because we all kissed her right in the bald spot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's hard on my sister because she was a model growing up. So she's
Ah,
kind of used to being, you know, the prettiest thing. And she
mhm.
still is, don't get me wrong. And now her hair is natural like mine. But due to the trauma, like her scalp remembers the trauma,
Mhm, mhm.
right? So it's like, let's say, for example, you had perms for 13 years and then you went natural. That first head of natural crop you grow may not be your true texture. Because
Yes.
you're still like, yo, bro, is it safe to come out here? Yo, I'm looking to the west, east, north for that hot comb, for that perm, for that flat iron. I don't know. And it grows out scared or frigid or impacted. And then,
Yeah.
you know, you get 6 inches down the line and you see something else pop up. And it's like, where y'all come from? I was sure I was a type 4A. What in the 3C hell is going on right now?
See, and it's funny that you bring that up because that is exactly what happened to me. Now I am much
Mm,
older than both of you all. I had perms for about 30 years. Yeah, about 30 years. I did not go natural until I was 41,
Mm.
41 years old. So, like you said, that first, I was 18 months natural before I decided to, to lock my hair. And, just like you said, that texture that you thought you had. And now that I am 12 years in the lock journey, same thing. A lot of my head, and especially the right side of my head, the texture is almost 3C.
isn't that crazy? Isn't that
And
beautiful?
I'm like, and I didn't realize just how fine and straight that my hair was.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yes.
some of the methods that, as far as even the locking, like you said, they didn't know about the crocheting it, the different methods. Some of those traditional methods won't work for my hair because it's too, it's too fine for that.
Right.
So it needs, those other methods. Like I would absolutely love to freeform.
Mhm.
I don't have the
I actually,
texture to freeform.
I actually have freeform locks.
Did you?
Yeah, I was trying it because I heard like you you could do that because I wasn't gonna try the regular one, and I mean it actually locked up. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
it's they just
Yeah,
like think
it will
about it.
still
It's
lock.
like it's just like think about it, just trying to keep them from getting too tangled up in there. That's all the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And see, for me, because of the fineness of my strands,
Mm.
um, if the lock, and see, I have to really watch because since I DIY'd my own hair, of course, it's hard to get that perfect sizing. So I've got some locks that are rather large, relatively,
Mhm.
and some that are very, very small.
I,
Yeah,
Because of the different textures of my head. But
I,
I'm noticing I'm having to really watch those larger locks
oh,
because of the fineness of my hair. I can't go too long, um, in between retightenings because it'll the larger, the larger the lock is, the heavier it is. And see, it's going to be, of course, pulling on that loose hair that's not as strong as the bound hair of the lock. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. And I'm seeing I cannot, you know,
yeah,
and I'm so far behind on my maintenance now. I can't
yeah,
really freeform safely. I would absolutely love freeform would just absolutely fit my
yeah,
lifestyle.
yeah.
But my
Yeah,
hair is
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Your hair is like really curly. Like my hair is really curly and thick, so it can do that. The only thing is just making sure like all the hairs just don't keep it keep
Mhm.
it try to pull it, all in the one big one. That'd be
Yeah.
like the only thing. But other than that, like I mean, I usually, I mean, how I usually do it. I mean, I'm not really an expert, like so. I mean, like if I can, I would just try to like kind of wash my hairs like kind of way to maybe kind of deal with it because it'll knock off some of the extra hair.
Yeah. Yeah. And see that's the thing that we have to learn. We have to become an expert
Yeah,
in us and in every part of us. That includes every part of our body. Like, like I mentioned, I finally realized that freeform, even though I want it, my hair is like, no, ma'am, that ain't gonna work for us. Not if you want to still have us on top of your head. So you have to learn what works for you,
Absolutely.
what works for your hair. Your hair type might not be able to take free forming, where somebody else's hair type, is can, and it's might be perfect for them.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. My mother don't like me, like my free from life. Say, why you don't cut your hair off? Like I'm not. I mean, it was a time where like before, because I had my hair cut before. I was like that was like a long time ago, and before that, I had like there's so much to it. I think I had like I think like as a teenager, sometimes I would have my hair straightened out with like a high comb, and
Hmm.
I had that happen. Deal with that sometimes, and I guess like I had I think like the last time I had a haircut like during that time was probably maybe like when I was 12 or 13. Yeah, I think like 13 or maybe later. But I know like that like until like when I started get my haircut, I think I had my hair grown like for like 15 years at that point. So I had a cut like a few years ago. So yeah, I think they might have been like 3 or 4 years ago when I had my haircut, and then after that I just kind of like had it for fro for a while, and then I think I had it free form for a while, and then I think I had a free form until like pandemic hit, so then I just started picking out all my locks and then just getting back in a fro, and then I think maybe like a few months in after my other job, I think I just kind of just let them come back, so now I'm just leaving me in now. So
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, it's like they curl together. I mean, yeah, it because like when you first have it, it's gonna look like a mess at first, and then eventually start taking shape because like not only will you have your lock there, but you'll have like other strands of hair trying to hold it together. So
Yes. Yes. Now our hair loves to eat. At least, definitely mine does. Even the straighter side. For some reason, that seems to be on my right side. Though it's codependent. My hair's codependent. It's like, we don't like to be by ourselves. We like to hang together.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's definitely strength in those there. Like, I was like, you'll see that very last, like where like the hairs like really just come together, like except like the ones that actually lock. But like with these, like yeah, the extra hairs they just kind of wrap around it, like yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like you kind of got. I mean, even then you got to kind of watch those hairs because like even if they wrap around like that one, they may wrap a few more in there, then it'd be like one big one.
Yes. Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, I,
Mhm.
I mean, it'd still be separate ones, but it'll be all together.
Right. Right. Yeah, to be joined at one part, and then it'll be separated at the other.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know about y'all's here. Mine, it doesn't um it doesn't do that evenly. Like it'll lock up at one point, but then further down it'll be, it has it locked in that area, which kind of will create, those weak spots. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I would absolutely love to freeform, but my hair's like, no.
When I first went natural, my hair locked so easily and on accident. Like I had to cut locks out of the top of my head. They were always in the middle of my hair because I was in my very early 20s when I went natural.
Mhm.
So you had a
Wow.
whole lot more hair in your 20s than you do, in your mid.
Exactly.
So my hair was locking like crazy. If I let my hair dry the wrong way, if I didn't get the right oil and conditioner lock method in there, I
Mhm.
had dreads and I would literally just have to cut them out. So one part of my hair would be down my back and then you come to the middle of my hair as a person French braiding my hair. And then, there's 3 inches of hair in there because I've had
Mhm.
to cut out a lock. These
Wow.
days, I mean, because that was after the scalp trauma, right? That was
Mhm.
actually years, if I can be completely honest. It took my hair 4 years to be like, I think guys, we good. Everybody come out. It's a party out here. And then my hair came out like, girl, I was for sure my hair was 4A, and I'm still pretty sure most of my hair is 4A, but I'm definitely working with some 3B and 3C.
Same here.
That
Mhm.
hair is not blocking for me at all. So I have a
Mhm.
much easier time, especially now that I'm 30 and there's just less hair on my head,
Yeah.
right? So I can get those shed hairs out a lot easier. I have
Mhm.
a much easier time putting my hair in my grandmother's two little braids, those two little, ponytails,
Mhm.
whatever. Um, and that is part of the reason my family is just like, they can look at me and see her. And
Mhm.
they're like, so what we not gonna do is
Mhm.
lock away the reflection of our matriarch, which is
Mm.
completely understandable. But it was just an amazing process to see because so many people, sis, when they go natural and they just stop having a perm, they're just like, oh, going natural ain't for me. My hair ain't. And I'm like, girl, trust the process. Your hair is going to look different in a few years. I'm telling you.
Yes, yes,
Get
absolutely.
that perm.
Absolutely.
Do not do it. Get you a lace front, get you some braids, some twists, some something. Girl, you are going to thank me later. I
Mhm.
don't know anyone who has gone natural and has been natural for years who just isn't in love with their head, like a whole bonsai tree relationship with
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're absolutely right as far as how the hair is going to look different because now I'm at back then when I first went natural, I thought I absolutely had to have oil, conditioner, and all of that stuff on my hair. Now I have had people to get in my my brother-in-law's family kind of get like a little attitude because they'll always ask me when they see me. I've had one, like, and they saw me when I was natural and when I first started locking my hair. And they're like, "Is that a wig?" No, you've been seeing me all these years. This is my hair. Or they'll ask me, "What kind of oil do you use?" I don't use oil. I have a natural sheen on my locks. And they think I'm lying. And that's because my texture has changed from when I first went natural up until now. I finally discovered that I actually overproduce sebum. So, it travels down my hair and my hair has a natural sheen to it. Like I have oil on it. I do not put not one stitch of oil. My scalp doesn't like oil. So yes, you are absolutely right. As you get older, yes, your texture will change.
right, with so many different things. I mean, with age, with, going natural. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing to behold.
Mhm.
Your hair grows from some kind of a shrub, right, outside to a willow tree. It's like, what in the whole miraculous hell is happening right here?
Yes.
I wish that natural journey for everyone. I know women who still get perms and things like that, but I'm just like, sis, I mean, if you could find a healthy way to apply a unit, because even with the lace fronts, women are going through a revolution. So you have
Mhm.
the women who lost all of their edges, right?
Mhm.
Because they were using all that tape and all that glue. You have these women
Mhm.
with gook and stuff seeping out of their pores because their scalps were infected. And today, now there's got to be glued, that's like a gel that you can like wash off as opposed to ripping out your hair and your first layer of your dermis, with that
Mhm.
tape from those wigs and stuff. And I'm just like, whatever you do to your hair, just protect what is your actual hair. Wear that wig, wear those braids, wear that weave, but protect that actual hair.
Here, yeah.
I have
Yeah,
heard of so many women who were African American and their bodies were exhumed for whatever reason, autopsies. And these were women who got perms and there was green stuff on their brain.
Yeah, I've heard that.
yeah,
I've
I've
heard
heard
that.
about that too.
Yeah, and
And
also come from perms.
yeah,
That's what got me to stop. I have to admit that hearing that and the way they started changing the perm formulation, because companies do this to meet their bottom line. To keep the price the same, they will take something out here and add something here, irregardless to the health of to your health, as long as they're still making that money. And I just did not want to be go in the shower after, because you got to wash the stuff off, right? And I didn't
yeah,
want to be down there going, damn, is that hair? I'm the only one in here. Shouldn't be no hair on the floor of this bathtub. So I
yeah.
said, I'd let it go. That was 2006,
You
November
know,
the 18th.
you know what? Like the show Boondocks kind of touched on the topic. There was like an episode they had. I think it was in like the last season they had. It was like about it was like the grandfather on Boondocks. I guess he'd mess around with some with some chemicals which Huey like the revolutionary of the family. Like he had some chemicals in there like he would use to make bombs. So I guess he had took the chemicals in like it's like put it in his hair or something like that, and then it made his hair look all straight and neat, just like a Caucasian and all that made look really good, like like probably like better than than the perms out there. So like, so he started, having other people going to take it. So like it would just turn black people's hair like from like straight into like and I mean curly into like straight, like, without even having
Mhm.
the I mean just putting the hair and they automatically going like that. And it was like, man, I gotta start so they started trying to, bottle, try to bottle us up and try to sell it, sell it. He was like, said, "What are you doing?" He said, "That's," he said, "That's bomb." He said, bomb making, uh,
Mhm.
bomb making material." He was like, he said, "I don't care." He said, "Hey, it's working, make people hair good." So it's like, yeah, I think they try to, and I think like some business reached some loan shark, something like that was like reaching out to him. Some business group was reaching out to him, wanting them to sell a product. They wanted to help them sell these products out. And he was like, said, "Is anything you know of us?" Oh yeah, these have a bomb material there, so I don't think we can do business. Oh, it don't matter. He said it doesn't matter. Like he said black people buy it, they don't care what's in it. And
Mhm.
just as long as they make their hair straight, that's all they care about. And thing about it was everybody was becoming a big hit, and then trouble came when like people who took that gel and put it in their hair and and wanted to leave the country, started setting off bomb sniffing dogs and all that because they had that stuff in their hair. So that's like when they found out that they had like a explosive that was like a explosive material that they put in their hair. So then I guess they shut it all down, but it was just kind of like do it like that. They kind of like did like a whole like Breaking Bad parody off of that. It was it was interesting. But I was like, yeah, it's kind of show like, yeah, that like with life perms, as long as people, some people like as long as their hair straight, they don't really care like what it's gonna do, or it don't even think about it.
Hmm. It's interesting that it was actually I find it kind of ironic because it was actually men who started wearing it was called the conch back in the 60s,
Yeah.
60s and 50s, and it was actually men who were doing it first. Very few, I don't think hardly any women were putting that
Yeah, that
in
is
their
true. I
hair.
forgot about. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that is true.
Yes, it was
Yeah,
called the conch.
yeah,
You remember the famous, the Malcolm X scene in Malcolm X?
yeah,
Yes, yeah. Just look at the old doo-wop, the doo-wop groups, music groups of the 60s. Look at the men's hair. That's what they
right.
were wearing. They were basically wearing a perm.
Yeah,
Like I say, it was called a conch. I don't know when it changed to I guess once women, they start making it for women, and women started embracing it. And I guess that's where, you know, well, actually, it went from conch to a relaxer
yeah,
and then perm. Because actually, perm, it was relaxer for blacks, but perm for white folks, which in is two different things. The
right,
relaxer was to to make the curl straight, where their
right.
perm was to take their straight hair
The
and make
hair
it
make
curly.
it curly. Yeah,
Now, how perm got to the relaxer, I'm not so sure about that one.
right. Yeah, uh, yeah.
But
I
yes.
was like, yeah, I was like thinking like, yeah. I said I wouldn't be too quick to put some on my head if I like, I'm not sure what putting in there because I'm like, yeah, you put in your head and then it not think about it can go into your to your scalp. And I mean, and it's like, even with that, like, even like with shampoo, like people don't know like what like what's in that shampoo. Like I think they had like chemicals in. I think like the parabens, supposed to like
Mhm.
kind of form up in your hair and whatnot, kind of stay stuck in your hair. And like with me, like I didn't really know much about this shampoo. I mean, I guess till like later on, but I'd already bought some anyway from a black bookstore, from a Pan African bookstore. And like I had like this well, I think it was like it was a shea butter shampoo or something like that. And I mean, but the thing about it was a type of the shampoo was different from other ones because it was a sulfur shampoo.
Mhm.
So I guess
Sulfate.
yeah, it was, it had sulfur in it. So like I guess like that sulfur in that shampoo kind of like knocked off the pyramids because like it made my hair so much more manageable. Like when I use that when I use but when I use the regular ones, it was so it kind of made my hair a little harder when I used it. So I noticed like differences in there.
Yeah. Well, shampoos are basically designed to be used with a conditioner. So that it's stuff it's designed to leave that negative, I think that's right. Negative attraction so that the conditioner can bond with it. And that's what all that buildup is what makes your hair hard.
Oh yeah, okay. I just picked up now. Yeah, mine's a shampoo and a conditioner. So
It doesn't even necessarily have to be a shampoo and conditioner combined. Shampoos, then and of themselves, that's why you
yeah,
see them, sold as almost like pairs.
I
The
mean,
matching, you got the
yeah,
shampoo and then the matching conditioner. So they
yeah,
make the shampoo,
yeah.
they design the shampoo so that the conditioner will bond, will bond to your hair. So that means the shampoo is actually leaving something behind on the hair so that the conditioner can bond to it. But all of that builds up on your hair. And see and that I think they do that too to make you make you buy the conditioner, because if you just use the shampoo and then it's leaving all this stuff behind, then it makes
Yeah,
your hair hard. So you're thinking, okay, I need to put something on here to make my hair soft. Now you adding even more stuff on there, you thinking that,
yeah,
and that's, I think this is a myth too, as far as um a lot of black folks, that our hair is naturally hard. And actually, I I'm beginning to think, I've been shampoo free for a number of years now. I'm beginning to think that that's a myth, because I thought the same thing. I thought my hair was like a Brillo pad. My hair is so soft now.
yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, like the shampoo I got, like it was like a sulfur shampoo, so it kind of like it kind of got rid of all that. And like I said, it's like a shampoo and conditioner, so it made my hair like soft. I was like, oh, hair's like softer. It's
Yes.
more manageable. I was like, wow, okay. Like
Hmm.
I mean, even though it costs a little bit more than the other shampoos, but I mean, it lasts, and I'm like, I don't have to go and get shampoo for a while, so it's like I don't have to wash it. Of course, like with black people, we don't have to really wash our hair as often, so I don't. And on top of that, I really don't have to use a lot of shampoo. I mean, I guess unless I didn't wet my hair enough or something like that. Other than that,
Hmm.
I really
Hmm.
don't even need a lot on there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we naturally produce our scalp, especially if your diet is good and you're drinking, plenty of water, we actually produce our own. That's what your sebum is. It is your natural, I like to call it your natural, customized, made for you conditioner.
Right.
And it once that gets, on your hair, your hair is so soft. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. I think this shampoo just kind of allowed me to get some of that, allow me to get like a lot of that stuff off, so it can like
Yes.
do that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because I didn't know my hair could be like that,
Mhm.
I didn't, and when I first like had used it, I didn't really think that it was the shampoo that was doing. I mean, as I liked it, and I was like, okay, well, I use this other one that I had bought, and when I used that one, I was like, I didn't get the same effect. I know I get the same effect with it, so I was like, okay, well, that's that's what it is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
See, Pandy put in the
yeah, I see it. I put it
yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yes. I agree. Absolutely agree.
yeah. I think like the condition. I mean, the shampoo I got is like more natural too, because I see a lot of natural ingredients in there.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm just not looking at the back of it. Yeah, so I think it has like a type of sulfate. I mean, it's like a different type of sulfate. It's not the one that she's putting up on there, but it's a different type of it. I think it's a sulfo. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can type it. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, there's natural when I was trying to research this many years ago, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's actually natural um things that are used in natural soap making that produce suds. Now, it's not going to be the necessarily the bubbly, and see, that's another myth too, that that they put out there, that it's not getting clean unless you got a room full of bubbles.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, the soap. Yeah, like the shampoo I have, it doesn't really have a lot of bubbles in there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it just gets like enough where it is, and then That's it.
Right. Where it's
Yeah.
not stripping all of your natural sebum, off of your scalp and off of the hair.
Right.
Hmm.
I'm learning stuff about hair because like as a guy, guys ain't don't know a lot about hair. We know how to pick it and cut it. Get it cut.
Hmm.
I mean, we know how to shave. That's about as knowledge as hair goes. We know to get it washed. And maybe condition we need to. That's the extent of our knowledge on hair.
Hmm. That's where the natural hair movement really has made humongous strides, because there's a lot of it's not just the guys who didn't know a whole lot about hair, and I'm just keeping it
Right.
real, you know.
Right.
Um, because a lot of our elders went along with what was told to them, what was good, and
Right.
it clearly wasn't. Now some of the elders, their elders, knew, but a lot of our say parents um kind of bought into the new I guess you say the new modern thing, and didn't really question, you know, well, why is, uh, because back in the day, you very rarely, those, women that permed their hair, you very rarely seen even those with shoulder length hair,
Mm.
let alone talking about down the back. And we had this notion that our hair just doesn't grow. Well, it's not that it's not growing, it keeps breaking off. Because of all of the chemicals and stuff, we're putting on it.
Right.
And especially, and when you have the finer that your hair is, the less of that kind of stuff it can take. The heat, the perms, the constant, you know, I mean, just look at a lot of the processes. Okay, the hair's perm, and then we're putting and I ain't even gonna even bring the dye in. That's a uh whole nother can of worms. The blow drying it, the heat. Then we turned around and flat iron it. Then you turn around and, add even more, heat after you done straighten it to do the styling. The finer your hair is, the finer those strands are, the less of that it can take. And after a while, it's going to break off, and you wonder why your hair never even makes it to your shoulders, let alone talking about down your back.
Right.
I remember when I first went natural, one of the key things for me to even get my hair to be natural and past my shoulders was I had to put my hair up for 2 years because we have, like you said, we have a very dry hair type. And when that hair sweeps up against your cotton pillow or up against your cotton polyester shirt, it will begin to break off at the rate of growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so once my hair got to my shoulders after going natural, because I cut my hair down to the point where I had like an inch of hair on my head. So once my hair got to my shoulders, I had to wear it up in a ponytail for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And obviously, I took it down, I washed it, I detangled it, braided it, styled it, or whatever. But if I was fully dressed, unless I had on like a tube top and my hair was just going to be skin to skin, I made that sacrifice and wore my hair up. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that, the hair was so long that it just kind of it did its own thing. But there are so many Black women who have that same hair length that's between their ear and their shoulder, somewhere in between there, and they don't know why, and that's why.
Yes. And I would have to push back just a little bit on the dry hair type. because there are studies out there, and I'm a personal example of that. It's not that our hair is dry; it's because of the stuff that we are using on the hair is drying out the natural sebum, and we actually produce um sebum, more sebum than most others do. And dandruff is not a result of what you're seeing. Those flakes is not dry. That's actual the oil, the sebum.
What the flake says not really dangerous. It's just that's the sebum.
That's sebum.
Oh,
Yes. Now I discovered this once I finally stopped putting any oils on my hair because I couldn't figure out, even though I was washing my hair all the time, why my scalp was always irritated. And I hadn't used any oil on my hair at all, and had flakes. So I'm getting them, lifting them off the scalp. And when I clean, because I always do it over the sink so that I can clean it up easier. And I seen this kind of film, and it felt a little greasy. I ain't putting no oil in my hair. How is this greasy? So I started doing a bit more research, and yes, sebum it's actually our natural wax,
hmm.
which is like a grease. Similar, very our sebum, vitamin E is very close to our natural sebum.
Right.
What is vitamin E? It's an oil.
As is jojoba oil. Jojoba oil
Yes.
actually mimics sebum. And for me, I have very large pores. So when it comes to my sebaceous glands, it definitely, the first 4 inches of my hair is very moisturized. But I think
Hmm.
our hair type, the reason people call it dry is because it's got to go down that spiral of hair. And oftentimes it doesn't get down there unless you're like, I know a girl who did something called the water method where she didn't use anything in her hair but water, and she didn't have locks or anything, but she would use all that hot water to use her fingers to stroke that sebum down the strand. And that worked for her as a moisturizer. That worked for her as a way to keep her hair and scalp clean. But she's like, I'll be honest, you guys, it takes weeks, right? Because she had the shampoo and the conditioner and all the different things, and her hair was getting, she was a natural, right? So she didn't have the perm or anything, but it took her sebum a while to, get accustomed to, oh, okay, we don't have any more products. Let's do this.
Yeah, it does. It takes a while. It also too, diet makes a huge a difference in that as well. Because I am noticing now that my diet is a whole lot better. Whoo, my sebum production is off the chain. It's actually too much, but I'm not going, I'm not going to go back to what I was doing before to make it less. And of course, the not adding other products that will strip it away, it will also impede and impede it getting down to the the ends, but also adding extra oil on top will make the hair feel drier. I know that sounds crazy as heck, but it makes it feel drier. And then I think adding that extra oil too impedes the sebum getting down to, the ends of that hair.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
know when I'm in the shower, I basically put my hair into pigtails. And once I get out, I put oil on the bottom. So I would say the first maybe 6 to 8 inches of my hair, fine, moisturized. But when I feel that texture change,
Hmm.
when it gets a little rougher, that's where I put the oil.
Yeah.
because I know that's where, my sebum is having a hard time getting all the way down there. So that's where I insert, jojoba, olive oil, grapeseed oil, just whatever oil,
Mhm.
over wet hair in order to trap in that water like a humectant. I wanted to say thank you guys so much for inviting me, because I do love a good hair talk, but that's my time. And Zero, I came late and I'm leaving early. Please forgive me.
Oh, you're fine. I started like, I mean, it is what it is.
I
You know.
appreciate you. And it was
Yeah.
really, really good meeting you. And I'm looking forward to seeing your hair on your channel.
Yes, I'm gonna have to get over to your channel as well.
Oh, thanks.
Loved meeting you.
The feeling is mutual. All right, audience, thank you guys so much. I'm up at Unicorn and I am out of here.
All right.
Yeah, I say it's uh so much of, like, like what you started off, what we started off with. 2020's blowing the myths, blowing a lot of these long held, long standing myths,
Yeah.
just putting them on center stage, you
Yeah.
know, to say, hey, this is total hypocrisy, total
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like a lot of people had to, like you were saying, like a lot of people getting comfortable. Like, and the thing about it is, like, when you want to move, if you want to do better, you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. That's just how it's always been. Like,
Yeah. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing but expecting a different result.
yeah, yeah. That's what I heard it being called. And I mean, I don't know how people are gonna. I mean, I don't know, like, how people are gonna move forward. I mean, I'm doing what I can to move forward, because, like, even with this whole thing, people go, well, can't find any jobs. I mean, yeah, there are jobs out there, probably, like, not a lot, not the ones you want, and that might, and and it's okay, and even with the certain jobs, like, I think I had read the article yesterday when I had, like, the had my live last night. I was reading the article where, like, Joe Biden has signed an executive order, pretty much stopping where it was saying supposed to stop, like, deportations and stuff with the immigrants and all that, and the illegal immigrants, and
Mhm.
now and like I think they were trying to explain it as like that, like, because he did that, it's kind of taking a they were saying, like black people are more affected, like, from, like, lower to, like, middle class, because a lot of these illegal immigrants are, doing these jobs, and getting paid less to do the job. So it kind of cuts out, like the black people who would want no wage. And on top of that, with the illegal immigrants, they got to go to the the companies that would actually be over, like, the workforce, like OSHA and the EOC and the Department of Labor. They're not going to be likely to go there, so they can pretty much get away with whatever they want to, because they ain't supposed to be here. So they're not going to say anything, and on top of that, they're gonna be like, oh, well, we make a good money, and not knowing that you compared, I mean, maybe compared to where you're at, yeah, that seems like good money, but when you take it to, like, when when like to the wages here, like what you're supposed to get, if they do, like, oh, we supposed to get this, oh man, I mean, they probably say, oh wow, they're really underpaying us. But
Mhm.
the thing about it, I think I mentioned some, like, at my old job, they have, like, a lot of. I know they're legal. I mean, of course, I can't prove it, but I could. I mean, I know times I've been thinking about making a call to immigration so badly. Cause I told coworkers, I said, yeah, if I got immigration and I'm here, oh yeah, yeah, I call immigration. I know they coming. Oh yeah, I'm bringing a big bag of popcorn.
But and I agree with what you're saying there, but that's
Yeah.
low hanging fruit because who's hiring them? That's who they got to go after.
Yeah. I'm not saying like it's them. Yeah, I'm talking about the companies hiring them, but yeah. But it's really just like yeah, the companies are hiring them. But yeah, yeah, they're not gonna go go to the companies unless you make a you make a call in there. I'm like say like if I ain't called immigration if I ain't called immigration that came in there like if even they like deport all of them, they're gonna they're gonna look at them because you had illegals working here,
Hmm.
and I'm sure they gonna get punished in some kind of way for that just because they had to come down here and just because they had to come down here and get them. So it's like oh now the fact that I'm pretty sure once they come in all of them gonna be scattering trying to get up out of there. So you're gonna see a bunch of immigrants like just hurrying and run up out of here.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
but after that, even they catch any of them or they don't, it's now going to open up an investigation because it'll be like, oh well, you had all these illegal immigrants here, like okay, they work here, so let's see if there are any more illegal immigrants that you're still hiring here. So either way, even if I like you made a call, like even though like yeah, they'll go out the immigrant or whatever, they're gonna look at the business owner because or whoever's in charge of the hiring or whatever because you let these immigrants come in here and work knowing that they're not legal knowing they're not legal to be working here knowing they're not been certified by whatever department handles that to work in this country. So you
Well,
but I mean these businesses doing that kind of affect certain things. Now now like some jobs violate they're just like yeah it's just jobs that people really didn't want to do, but not the rates that they would have charged them. But it's just like I'll say it's like from where we're at, like I'll see like Jamaican working there, and like and the thing about it was like this business was giving out overtime to them, but the thing about it was like when they were getting overtime, they just get straight hours. They're not even getting they're not getting time and a half.
hmm. Hmm.
So like because they ain't supposed to be there, so they can do that, because
Hmm.
they're not going to call they're not going to call OSHA. They're not
Hmm.
going to
Hmm.
call like the company the departments that actually come and handle that because they scared they gonna get deported, so they ain't gonna say nothing. They and
But now remember when this really tough, I forgot what year that was, when this really tough immigration law was put forth, and all of the quite a few of the ones that were here illegally left, went back to their countries, and the business owners didn't have enough workforce to get to get the work out, and this is across a number of industries. Of course, the farming is probably the most
yeah,
visible of
yeah.
it, but this is across a number of industries. Guess who put pressure on them to like lax, to kind of pull back on that?
Who was that?
You shouldn't even need to ask who did that. The business owners.
Oh, oh yeah.
Because they
Of
were
course.
losing money because they didn't, because you tell they weren't finna get out there and do all that work.
It's like I'm like just looking at it like, hey, y'all wanted to try to save some, y'all wanted to cut corners. Well, now they taking away your ability to cut corners. Now you upset. I'm like, yeah, go and pay your workers the the wage you're supposed to pay them,
Mhm.
and pay people who are in this country. But like, and every time well, we don't
And
have enough jobs for Americans. I'm like, these companies not trying to
they're
really
not even
pay.
looking at
Yeah,
Americans to
right,
hire.
yeah, right. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, and I remember like when when I tried to get like a modem for like, I mean, I eventually got one for it, but the first modem I got, like, it was like from it expanding, it wasn't working. So like I mean, like, I was trying to find out where I can go to because of support. So like once I got the customer support and I finally got somebody to talk to, I'm like, I'm going to talk with an Indian who like, you speak English, but he can't fully understand. It doesn't seem like he fully understands the language. I'm thinking like, why am I here? Why am I talking to an Indian? I say, really, y'all really outsource these jobs? Then it's like, okay.
Yes.
I mean,
Everything.
yeah, I'm just like,
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't want to be on the phone talking with an Indian who who don't have full, especially don't have full grasp of the language that I have, and I'm trying to understand him. Like I said,
Mhm.
I need to talk. I'm like, I think like I need to talk to an American. I need I
Mhm.
need I need somebody I can understand.
And it's only they kind of lacks a bit on businesses kind of lacks a bit on that because it had gotten so prevalent that there were many people like you. Dang, I can't understand these people. So they kind of cut back on it. But yes, that they are not going to do it unless their pocketbooks become affected.
Yeah,
And
so yeah.
they ain't gonna do it out the goodness of their heart or if it's the right
Oh
thing
yeah, I already
to
know that.
do.
I already know that.
Yeah. So I
Yeah, they.
mean, we could have been if they was that serious about um immigration. And see, that's the thing. They get the general public to think it's the immigrants that are the enemy. And they're not, because if the jobs aren't here, just like when they did get that passed in many states across the country implemented it immediately, and there was a mass exodus of a lot of immigrants. And when these
Yeah,
businesses was losing money because they didn't have anyone, you know, all those jobs were unfilled, orders that couldn't get filled, houses that couldn't get built, you know, all throughout the you know, throughout the industries and business worlds. The business owners was like, called up they folks. You need to do something about this. And it definitely got done because you start seeing them same people trickling back in.
yeah. I mean, and like the thing about that, I'm not, of course, I won't say they're the enemy, but they definitely not an ally either. Not the black people in a way, especially not the black people. Well, I mean, I don't. Sure. I mean, you might have like some people there, but like some people in this country. But I mean, far as I know, like when I see like people who are immigrants, even like the ones that are legal here, I be like, it's like would it be something be unfair or something like that,
Mhm.
it's like they want black people to help, help rally their call, help rally the
Yeah.
cause. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's unfair around the board and all that, black people, be getting everything up, would be the forefront of it, be leading the charge and all that, and
Hmm.
while they're doing that, they're getting what they want, and it's like, be like, well, we're all together, so we get what we want, and you're gonna get what you want. But then they, like I said, they go and it's like while we over doing that, they over get what they want, but I make sure black folks get what they want. So it's like, and
Oh
then,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, then I did be like, oh yeah, oh we got what I want, and like, hey, you gonna help us out? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, they just is conditioned to believe that um
Um,
they are just as conditioned to believe in that myth that they're above us.
well, it's like, see, it's like every one of them is like, I think, and like from what I heard like they kind of, they kind of take like, oh well, love does a whistle, they gotta be so arrogant because that's how they probably would be. I remember up there kind of had a panel talking about like how like Africans like how Africans like look at well certain Africans, I mean be most said more like West Africans
Mhm,
that kind
mhm,
of have this attitude, and pretty much like where they feel like they got to try to knock American blacks down a notch.
mhm,
You
mm.
know,
Oh
because
yeah.
they like it's like, oh well, because even though they like had arrogance and everything like that, like, oh yeah, well they do all this, say, oh they must be full of sense, I got to make sure I knock them down a notch, not knowing that we ain't thinking like that.
Mhm,
We
mhm,
like I think like up said like it was like black people have like like here in America have like a low self esteem issue. So it's like we're not even thinking we're we're above and all that, and then they be like, oh yeah, we're gonna knock them down a notch, and then like a lot of these Africans that come over here that be doing that be like, oh yeah, that they'll be, you be thinking like American blacks should be like cater to white, like cater to white. You see like the black people that be always
mhm.
be like doing too much, against their people and all that. It's clear that they're trying to press their the people that are paying their checks, whatever, or
Right.
and all that. So like they I mean you thought that American blacks do it. No, they ain't got nothing on Africans with that.
Mhm. Oh
That's
yeah.
oh yeah, it's like, say, how about what do you need? What do you need, my boss, master? You need me to lick your floor for you, master. Make sure that it's clean for you. I mean, I'm always exaggerating, but it's like that's. I mean, it's kind of like how they come off, like when they do it. And I'm just like, Cause I'm,
Mhm,
I wish it wasn't like a general thing, but it's like from experience and like other experiences from like other Black Americans dealing with Africans. Cause I met a few Africans that were cool, that were that were good people, but like most of like it's like they look at look down on American Black people, and it's like they even try to tell you stuff like openly insulting your intelligence. And I remember one time
mhm,
an African told me because I remember I was telling him, I said, I mean, I don't know how the subject of the slave ships came up, but I was like, hey, I said, man, y'all people done sold us over here. And he was like, he said, no, that's not true, brother. He said, that's not true. And I kind of noticed it with Africans like over time dealing with like that's why I said, brother. They about they want something, or they about to tell you they about to tell you something that ain't true. They about to be on some BS. So I was like, so he was like, oh no, that's not what happened, brother. What happened was, when the white man came here, we, he offered to teach our kids, so we let our kids go off with him, and we never seen him again, and we didn't hear anything from him. We didn't know what happened. So I'm like, so you're telling me you just let your kids just walk off with a complete stranger, never be seen again, never to hear from again, and y'all kept doing it. I said, if anything, that makes y'all sound stupid.
yeah.
He said, no, no, that's not what it is. Like, I was like, I mean, to tell me that you're insulted by intelligence, and 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 like thing about it was like why you was telling me that story. There was like another African, I think you from a different, country. Why you telling me that story? And I was telling him like, yeah, why you sitting there telling me that story? The other African over there shaking his head like, nah, that ain't true. Oh, and right behind him said, nah, that ain't true. I said, I already knew, but the other African was over there confirming like, nah, that ain't true.
Mhm.
He just sitting there looking at dude like just kind of smarter than nah, that ain't true. So it's like, yeah. I said, I mean, the thing about it, he probably like one of the tribe that probably did sell us, and
Yeah.
trying to tell that lie because I'm like, cause I mean, and I also learned stuff from that stream. I learned that like when the Africans that like during the time of James Monroe when he sent like some black folks to Liberia. He was saying like from what I heard they put them at the at a slave colony, put them at the tribe, put them next to the tribe that was enslaving the Africans there and selling them off. They were saying once they got there and they started selling them enslaving them, it's like it said the free slaves there that just came off that boat started they got angry, started fighting back and started started fighting back and winning and took Liberia back.
Mm.
I was like, oh,
Wow.
I know that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's so, like I say, to me that's what 2020 definitely what is the start of, and 2021 is kind of like chapter one. you know, pulling a lot of those um iron curtains
Yeah,
back. We seeing what's behind that, that pretty glossy, curtain.
yeah, it's just a lot going on. But I really do think things get better if you want them to get better. But it's just like people like, well, just had it with 2020, and now like guess 2021 gonna be better. I mean, cause I think like probably like for the past few years, people say like, last year was worse than this year, and then they say about the year before that, and like, cause like I know I've said that too. It was like, yeah, it's like I think the years only get better if we wanted to get better.
Oh, you
So
have to put in the work. We're definitely gonna have to put in the work and be willing to look at so much of what we've been told, what we've been raised with, to believe that's true
right,
when the clues have been visible for decades, not just last year. It just got to the point where, like I said, to me 2020 was the center, where it was put on front and center stage with the spotlight. You know how when the performer is on stage by themselves, and they dim the lights and they put that spotlight on them, where
yeah,
you can see. Yeah. To me that's what 2020. you know it's that spotlight. Now you can't help but see.
yeah. I mean, I kind of look at 2020 as like a trial by fire. Like either you gonna come out better or you ain't.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
kind of it's kind of like how like the like how like in a 300 like Spartans got trained. You go out. Send a child out there. To fend out for him for himself. He make it back. He become a man. If you're not, that's it for him.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of like that, but not to that extreme. But it's just like you either gonna do better or you ain't.
But that's but that not it's for me, it's for everyone,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
not just like the metaphorical that you used,
yeah. I mean,
towards the
yeah,
child.
yeah. Yeah, I was saying, like I said, not to that
Mhm.
extreme. I mean, yeah, I meant for everyone. I was just using that as a as a metaphor for that.
Actually, I think it is to that extreme. I
Could
really
be.
feel like it is to that extreme, because a lot of people, um, from young to well, really from old to young, and really affecting the old more so than anyone else. And when I say old, I'm not necessarily referring to chronological age, even though that is a huge part of it. But also in that, that rigid um, tradition is always right, authorities always right type thinking. All
Yeah,
of that has been just blasted, know, blasted apart. Talking about the cosmic 2x4. I mean, it done graduated from cosmic 2x4 to heck. I think probably 2019, 2018 was probably the 2 by when it graduated to 2x6. I think now we had 2x12 status. Aren't 2x12s used for flooring joists?
I don't know.
Imagine that getting, whopped upside your head. Yeah, you ain't going to ignore that. You might be able to, shake off, a little stick hitting you upside the head. You might even be able to shake off a 2x4. I don't think you gonna shake off a 2x12 going upside your head.
Right.
And that's where we are now. I think that we done broke out the 2x12s because we wasn't getting the message, when the 2x4s got broken out. We still wasn't getting the message when the 2x6s came out. And it's like, okay, I think you're gonna get the message now. This 2x12 is here.
Yeah.
And so that's what 2020 I think was a 2x12.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, had a big enough impact. And even though I didn't, agree like how they did it because they didn't have to do it like as far as jobs the way they did it. Because every time,
No,
well, we got to shut down like most of these jobs and all that. I'm just like, if you got like these bigger companies because you say that they're essential, that they're important, and all the other jobs are not important, and you got them like wearing masks and all that, and giving making sure that giving them an incentive to wear it because they don't wear it, they get fined or whatever during the lockdown, and and you couldn't do that for all the other businesses. I was like, okay, well, you're clearly it ain't that as serious as you're making it out to be, because if it was that serious, you had to close those down too. But like, well, we got to keep the economy going. Well, y'all want to shut things down?
this thing to me is um I think it's definitely serious. It points out. It really has feels like it put a spotlight on um just the way that we've taken things as normal, but it's not
Yeah,
sustainable. It never was sustainable, and it's gotten to the
yeah,
point where it's falling apart
yeah.
because you can't expect people to just keep going. The body just does not function well on small amounts of sleep, and
Yeah.
most people's immune system is compromised because of that, because of this go
Well,
lifestyle.
not even just like that. You have people taking these prescription drugs like legal or or otherwise. I mean that affects the immune system
Mhm, mhm,
because
mhm.
especially like prescription drugs, even though they're supposed to help you apparently, but it's like think about it, they don't really help you. Matter of fact, they actually kind of hurt you because it's like, yeah, they kind of give you those so you keep coming back and taking them because I'm like, people use like the term drug dealer when it's selling something illegal. But I'm like, yeah, these pharmaceuticals, they're super companies, they're drug dealers too. They just,
Mhm.
they, they just legal allowed to sell drugs. That's just no different. They legal, but some people be trying to argue me on the
They're the
term.
bougie.
Yeah. They try to argue me with on the term like, oh, they're not drug dealers. I'm like, well, what do you
Yeah.
call what they're doing?
They just bougie. They just the bougie form of the street corner pusher.
Yeah, yeah, they're the legal form of it. Like you know, they can legally become an entrepreneur. And selling these type of things. So it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah, it's but too, it's like when I shouldn't even say when. I don't even know why I'm going to say it, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it anyway. Uh, truth, truth has become negative. Well, truth
oh
always has been never. It ain't become. It always has been seen
yeah,
as negative. But that's
yeah.
what ignoring that is what got us here.
Oh yeah, people like truth. Even when even when you put it in front of your face, people hate you for it. Like
Oh, yes.
like people can like and I know it's gonna be an unpopular opinion. I know I know a lot of people don't like this guy, including me. But it was like times like stuff he said was actually true, and I'm talking about like the former president. At times, he has said
Oh,
stuff that was like, that was actually true, but nobody took it that. Everybody like, oh man, you crazy, you know what you're talking about. And I said, yes, some stuff he said was true.
oh,
Y-
you're right.
Yeah,
You're absolutely
yeah,
right. You're
yeah. Some
absolutely right.
stuff said, yeah, some said it. Some he said it was true. It's just like people just hate him so much. You know what I mean? And on top of that, he just been trolling the country on a daily basis. So it's just like,
Yeah, I still don't like him, but
yeah,
you're right. Some of the stuff he said was indeed true.
yeah. I said, no, y'all don't like him. It's like, I said, you think he like the president? He ain't getting all the secrets. You think they ain't telling him all the secrets? Like when people say, well, see it is fake news. Like people don't understand what he said. That like he was trying to tell them, like CNN don't be putting out all the facts.
None of
Like
them do.
yeah. He's pretty much like saying that. Yeah. Really, none of them do. Unless you get it from like like all like alternative media, like like
Hmm.
have like journalists and all that like really gonna look at it. I mean, it'd be really hard like to find truth, or if they do put truth out there, sometimes they slip up and like tell you the truth, and they be like, and then like if you don't catch it, they just heard
Right.
before they heard and take it back, missed it.
Hmm. Or it's
But
coded.
yeah, 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 they heard me take it back, and then on top of that, like and sometimes we usually got to try to read in between the lines what they
Yes.
saying.
Yes. I'm sure that's probably where that statement came from. What they say, cliche. Read in between the lines,
Right.
behind the lines, under the lines, around the lines.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of that going on. Like, and I remember, and I know I mentioned this several times, cause like this was like an interesting conversation I had, like with this guy, cause I remember talking about politics. They like, I was catching like a lift right home, and like the guy was telling me, like I was like, yeah, like I said, yeah, the president's like a president puppet. He's always like the father. I said, yeah, 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 all of them puppets. He was like, cause he was telling me like his experiences, like, cause he said he used to be he used to do ads for Washington D.C. and he didn't. I mean, he knew a lot about what was going on there. So he was telling me that like though he's telling me about like the president. Like say the worst day of the president's life is after he gets elected, he goes to the Oval Office. All the the big 5-star generals gather around, and then they tell him everything that happens. They tell him like all the events that happen, and then tell him what really happened. That they tell him all that they give him all the details on everything that's happened. Now he has to keep all that secret.
Mm.
I was like, yeah. I say, yeah. But told the truth or something. That I was like, I just tell both like, so yeah, he ain't. He ain't on our side. Like people like, they're like people that like take it because like, well, he he he's not being politically correct, and he doesn't seem like he's working with the the with the other politicians and all that. Which which I try to tell people it's all an act, but it's like. But the thing about it is like, oh, he's fighting against the Globers. Like, no, he's not. He's one of them. I mean, he just there to pretend like he's not with them.
Mm.
He's playing their game, and honestly, I think they just wanted. Honestly, I think he was probably tired of being president. But even then, like they really needed to push this whole vaccine. So Joe
Mhm.
Biden would be better to promote it than Trump would, because like a lot of people are very triggered by some of the things he says. So so yeah, just have it at them like yeah he's very triggered by what he says. So I'm like, well,
Mm.
it makes sense. I mean, uh, I mean. It's just like it's like so much stuff. Like people be thinking like these Democrats, Republicans really be hating each other like that. I'm like, no, they the same on the
Mm-mm.
same side. At the end of the day, they be when they do all that arguing, all that and whatever. At the end of the day, they all go out and eat together.
Mhm.
That's like actually a term for what goes on there. They call it political theater.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So
The
with
optics.
so with that term alone, they tell you it's all a show.
Mhm.
But people don't catch on that. Like because like what are some things that they want done? They all get together and do it. You'll see it like almost unanimous. I haven't seen it happen. Like I definitely seen it happen once. Like it was about like about going to war and all. I was like, okay, well, because this is like where I was kind of still like where I was signed with the Democrat Party. I was like, okay, yeah. I said, no, this war. So I know these Democrats ain't about to vote for this. And when I seen the votes, and I think it was like Senate that was I think it was Senate having the hearing, and they say I know like the vote for was 99%. It was almost unanimous. And I was like, so I know it ain't 99% Republicans, so had to be some. Yeah, had to been both of them doing it. That's like when I kind of realized that, oh yeah, these are both sides. They're both sides of the same coin.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, well, I know that kind of that kind of experience kind of woke me up from that. Like, okay, cool, because like for then I was actually gonna be done with voting. I just kind of got talked back into it because I had spent time like volunteer Democratic Party, and then before that I was volunteering the Victory Aid campaign for Obama. Like I guess me or like a lot of other like black people, I didn't vote for him because he was black. I have a vote for him because like the issues that he would say he was going to do, which like when one's like like that was like his big selling points, the healthcare and I'm trying to think what else. Well, I know definitely like the healthcare. Like he didn't deliver on that. Like not the way it's supposed to. Like, well, it's supposed to compromise. I'm like, well, thing about it was like like the public option was supposed to be on there. That wasn't taken away by a Republican. That's like taken away by a Democrat to get a vote.
But now, Zero, let me ask you this. Do you really think Do you really think that a public option even had a chance at all? I mean,
I mean,
it's
I mean, I,
absolutely wonder. It's what needs to be done, but
I mean,
with
I would say like at the time, like where I was at, I don't, like I mean, at this point, I don't, it don't, I mean, at this point, it don't really even seem as a good option because, like, I mean, like think about it, you got like we're like the only country that doesn't have universal health care. Every other country
Mhm.
got universal health care, which I mean, it must be working great because every country got it, but we still have to do all this pay and all that for the healthcare. But
Yes.
like his politicians, well, we got the greatest healthcare system in the world. That's not what the
No,
World Health Organization says.
no, and I've gotten a chance to experience it outside of the US. So no, that is definitely a
Yeah,
force. And
yeah,
that's the reason why I brought that up because
yeah.
they can push that narrative because most people haven't even been out of their own cities, let alone out of the state, let alone out of the country.
Right, cause I
So,
know I know Michael Moore did a movie on it, like called like Sicko, and I remember seeing the paper, but I didn't know what the movie was about until like I think about the time I seen the trailer, like the movie was already out of theaters. But I was like, when I looked at it, I was like, man, this exposes so much,
yes.
and I was like saying all that. I see why they didn't put no commercials out for that.
Yeah, see, it would have never even seen the light of day. And then, shoot, talk about this pandemic that we're going through now would be a hell of a lot worse. Excuse my language, a heck of a lot worse
Yeah,
because a whole lot of people wouldn't have had insurance at all.
right.
So, I mean, I know, yeah, I would have absolutely loved to see a the public option,
Yeah,
but
I
but
mean,
the mentality of the country, it wouldn't have even seen the light of day.
yeah. That's that's why I was scrapped by Bud Nelson. 'Cause he was like, "I'm not going to vote for it unless you take this off the table."
Yeah,
I mean,
you wouldn't even heard that. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If they kept
yeah.
pushing it.
Yeah. I mean, they took it off, and I mean, even with it passed, it's like it didn't really. I mean, for the most part, it didn't really make things better to much people. So, well, yeah, I mean, it might have helped out some people, but it didn't really. A lot of people actually had it worse. I mean, I've heard like I've heard like coworkers like say, man, this. I mean, I had a coworker like the coworker I worked with at the job like before the pandemic hit. He was like, when we got our insurance from work and all that, our medical insurance, like talking about like the pay and all that. He was looking at it, he said, man, this is less than I paid when Obama was in the. I mean, and he was a strong Obama supporter. I was like, well, well, so you don't like Trump? I said, you can at least thank him for that one.
Yes, true,
one
but
thing, one thing.
you have to remember insurance companies are not in the business. It's not a charity. They are in the business for profit. Insurance companies, whether it's health insurance, car insurance, home insurance, whatever insurance,
Well, yeah,
they are to take in more premiums than they pay out. So if you now have a much sicker population who
yeah,
is on the insurance, have to make a profit. Their shareholders demand to make a profit. So guess what? It's going to have to go up. And the reason
yeah,
it probably went back down because a lot of the companies did pull out of uh the mandate,
yeah.
pull out of the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
that's why insurance was so low back then because they can, discriminate against not give you insurance. for whatever reason, they can call just about anything a pre-existing conditions. And if you did get sick, you could just about almost forget about, unless you were making buku money as far as getting insurance again,
Yeah, yeah,
after you've gotten sick, because they're
yeah.
not in the business to, see, people seem to think, well, that's what the insurance company's for. You're forgetting, it's a
But the
for-profit business.
but the thing about it is, it's like this. I mean, like the insurance company, like the original was like the Casa Permanente one, but it's like something that shouldn't even have existed in the first place. But the thing about like the so-called Affordable Care Act was like, even though it passed and people got it, whatever. The thing about it was like before it even got passed, like insurance companies started stop not taking a lot of them stopped not taking kids on them. Like, oh well, you're gonna pass that. Well,
Yes.
we can start. We gonna stop taking. We gonna stop putting kids on it. So you good luck with that. And I'm
Yeah,
just
and see,
like,
that's the other thing too. You had anybody that is added on the policy, and see, remember, kids are not paying for their policy, so that's an extra cost, basically less money profit, because most of the time, kids, you're going to be taking kids to the doctor more than adults go to the doctor.
right.
Remember, their object is to take in more premiums than they pay out. Is a child paying a premium? No.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this is why we actually, Euros healthcare, but they're not gonna do it because
Right.
too much, too much money into it. Let you do something that make them force them to leave.
Exactly.
You not gonna you not it's not gonna happen. It's like, I'm just like, well, I mean, it doesn't make sense. And then, like, like when America or other countries be like, man, how much gonna cost every, and like when you ask them, like, let's say, like, in the movie
Mhm.
Sicko, in the movie Sicko, you ask them like, well, how much it costs? They kind of laugh. They like, what? How much it costs?
Yes, exactly.
Because
Exactly.
because it's already been paid for by the taxpayers. We're like, man, what do you mean how much it costs? Like, the only time
Exactly.
the only time you'll probably, any money would be exchanged, like if they're trying to give you money for, I mean, try to pay reimburse you for, the if you had to get a ride down here or something.
No, if you're trying to get procedures like um procedures that aren't necessarily, how do I want to say it? Now I can't really say for sure back then, but I'm sure, like say the what is it, the what they call that surgery? Ugh, I can't remember the name. The one that, when they do the stomach stapling. Unless unless it was something that was like gonna take you
Cosmetic or
out of
something.
here. Yeah, the cosmetic surgery, those type things. No,
Right,
you
right,
wouldn't have to pay for those.
right.
But
I mean,
as
I mean,
far
I
as
mean, that,
basic
I
care,
mean, that's, that's understandable for cosmetic, because, like, yeah, like, taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for you, pay because you want to look good or something like that.
mhm, mhm. But yeah, even like they talk about the long emergency room waits, the long doctor office waits. You got that, and you paying an arm and a leg.
Right.
But like I said,
And
because
and
most
and,
folks,
and Yeah, and then at times, like, they don't even treat the people like that. I think I've seen, like, at times, like, if they had no money, they tell the paramedics, hey, go and leave, go ahead and leave that person out on the side of the street or something like that.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, there's no but even if you do make it to the emergency room, there's no asking of you. You, you, won't be denied treatment because you don't have an insurance card.
Right.
And then, heck, you might have an insurance card, but you know how a lot of these insurances now, and even back 10 years or more, uh, 20 years back, a lot of the insurances that you got with, and see, a lot of people are unaware of that those policies had caps. Once you met that, now of course $1 million cap, $2 million cap sounds like a astronomical amount that you will never meet, but
Right.
have a heart attack or
Yeah.
or some other thing like that. And that's the reason a lot of people lost their insurances back in those days before the Affordable Care Act was passed, because they met those caps. Once you meet that cap, you cannot get insurance anymore.
Yeah.
A
I
lot
mean,
of
it's kind
people are
of.
unaware of that.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that, like, people got like, oh, Big Robert don't know what he's talking about, but it's like the bill that Obama used was like pretty much almost was like pretty much his plan. It was just
Yes,
like
it
he
was
just
a Republican plan. Yes, it was. It
yeah.
was from a Republican think tank.
Yeah, it was like Bill Romney was like the one leading charge of it, but but because Obama took over, now it's like, oh, well, it's Obama's
And it wasn't
idea.
necessarily even Mitt Romney. It actually Mitt Romney's bill looks a lot like what Nixon proposed something back that in the 70s.
You know what's interesting, because like in the movie Sicko, it was said like Nixon was the one that actually allowed these for profit healthcare companies to come in,
Yes.
because it was like there was like an audio in there. He was like Nixon was in there, talking to people, and I'm not paying for no GD healthcare, you know.
Hmm.
He's like, give me that Kaiser Permanente system, and now we had a healthcare had in, and anytime like there's any mention of universal healthcare, they try to scare people with communism. Like,
Yes.
at time like when they first tried to do it, they were like, oh, well, you're the universal healthcare, you're supporting Russia.
Hmm.
At the
Hmm.
time, during the Cold War and all that, and then they always like have some kind of some new thing they always try to do to make people not want to do that, because when they first proposed, they made it sound like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the great thing because you're paying for it, and you're gonna get the best health care and all that, and it didn't even turn out nothing like that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope. Nope. And
Right.
actually, we do have a form of universal health care. You just have to reach a certain age to get it.
True, and the ironic thing is like it's like I think prisons they get it, and like especially even those like in Guantanamo Bay, they got universal health care. I mean,
Hmm.
even though Guantanamo Bay, they still get tortured, but they got universal health care.
Hmm. But I mean, Medicare
Yeah,
has no pre-existing conditions.
yeah. But when people like, oh, well, give the government over, we give it to the government, they're gonna raise it all the way up and all that. I'm like, if enough people put it in there, you ain't got to worry about it being raised up. And then like
Exactly.
you'll hear people say, oh well, I don't want to be spending my tax dollar helping somebody else. I said, but it'll be helping you too. They'll be helping
You're
you.
already doing it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like when I hear those talking points, I'm like, do y'all even know what y'all saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's like
Mhm.
tax dollars for everybody. Hey,
Heck,
hey,
you're
hey,
you're
hey.
already doing people are already doing that with their premiums. Like when you
Right,
mentioned about the kids. See,
right,
what the companies, see, people think that their rates are based on just their company, just their individual company. That is not true. It is based each company, y'all companies are based within industries, or what their defined industries. So anytime somebody gets married and brings kids onto their policy, guess what? The ones who ain't got kids, you paying for that. Because remember, the kids ain't paying the premiums.
right. Because they can't.
Thank you.
Right, right. And they like we had people talk about, well, I want to be paying, I don't want to be,
and
paying,
and
paying that, and like, and when I hear them say that, I was like, well, we paying these politicians salary with tax dollars, and they don't
thank
even do
you.
nothing for us. And
Thank you.
then they had nerve to tell us like, oh, well, you need to get off welfare. Okay, well, you want to about get on welfare, you first.
Yeah, thank you. That and anytime, anytime anybody gets anything done where they are drawing off of the insurance premium to pay the rest of the bill. Remember what I said earlier when we started this conversation. What is the goal of insurance companies? To
Like
take
what?
in more premiums than claims that they have to pay out. Anytime anybody has to use that insurance, that is drawing out of their profit. And
Yeah,
when
man.
that gets to be too high, when because they got that profit, that certain percentage of profit that they are going to make.
Right.
And once they see it starts dropping below that percentage, that's when rates start going up.
That's like the same concept with like private prisons. Like they need prison that are filled. They need themselves filled up. So even if they get like known prisons, like sometimes they don't get it filled up. So if they have people who have like minor offenses, like they'll bring them down there, but now they bring them down there, they give them extended sentences, like give them longer sentences so they'll keep working.
Mhm.
Because like if they have people that got misdemeanors there, they know that they're not as likely to get violent and try to attack anybody. They'll be good little workers that'll
Mhm.
do their time while they're making all this money.
Right.
And so it's like pretty much like, okay, well, I'm gonna be getting out this and this time, but it's like if you ever get a chance to look at the sentence, you be like, he went to jail all this time for this.
For
I mean,
that, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
but of course, like there's like judges and all kind of stuff behind that. So it's like you ain't about to easily expose that.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it's like stuff like the crime bill that helped put some of this stuff in action, and people want to be saying, "Oh, Bill Clinton is the greatest president." I'm like, well, he signed 99 for a crime bill that kind of made stuff a little bad. It made stuff worse for black people. I hear black people saying, I'm like, I mean, they only say it because well, he he got oral sex from some woman. I'm like, okay, that makes him the greatest president. I mean, you're like, yeah, you're like, oh, well, he smoked weed, he played the saxophone, so like for Obama candidate, he's a he's a first black president.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that, not, and like I'm surprised. Like I mean, people wanted to go here. I'm like, I mean, it's like, well, when they think like a lot of like, black men didn't want to vote for it, like, oh, well, you just wanted to vote for it because you weren't Redfield president. No, black men didn't. Black men ain't forgot about what she said in 1996 about us being super predators. When she said that.
Oh yeah, I had forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. I know you probably haven't, but a lot of people apparently did,
Mhm.
and it'd be like, you're not Rev one president. Not Rev one president. Don't nobody like Hillary.
Yeah.
I mean,
You right there.
yeah, right. I mean, she ran twice. Like they did all the advertising for her, and they even put her character in the movie, like the Purge election year. They actually put her in a movie, well, put her character in the movie, and she still didn't win.
Mhm. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Yep.
I mean, she tried all those black stereotypes. I got hot sauce in my bag. Put on every. I put that hot sauce on everything. Put on everything.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm like, how you had these like, I mean, it wasn't just like her doing that. I mean, Joe Biden did the same thing. It was like, telling black folks, you're not black if you don't vote for me. I'm like, who are you to tell me what being black is, white man?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I mean, and the thing about it, he did it on a black man show. So I'm like, you didn't. I'm like thinking, you didn't check him on that. Like, you just sat there, let him say that. You didn't check him on it. You just let him say it. And I'm just like, man. And it was just crazy. I'm like, and it's just like, I mean, and the
Yeah.
thing about like the Democrat Party, they really insult black people.
Uh-oh.
Intelligence a lot because I'm like them like all right, folks, so we really gotta do nothing. We can say what we want to them, and they're not gonna really respond to us. Like, we can just even if we make a mistake, we just say we're sorry, and they're just gonna
Mhm.
forgive. They're
Mhm.
just gonna forgive us like they always do. So yeah, when he did that, and then on top of that, like doing this cringy interview with Cardi B, like Cardi B now she won't be black now. She was going like, oh I'm Dominican and all that. I'm not. And I'm like, okay, now you want to be black, and I mean, and I'm like, I said, so you want to be black? I'm like, well, you're not a good representative because for one, you were known for drugging and getting black men robbed. You were one responsible for getting black men drugged and robbed. So it's like to say that you care about black men now, like I don't believe you. I mean, and like the fact that she tried to be more political, I was like, I said, if you're gonna try to have somebody try to pretend like they care about black folks, I think you need a better representative because it's a horrible representative. Like she seemed like she didn't know what she didn't know what she was talking about. Like she was trying to read a script and didn't and couldn't read some of the words. So that's kind of how it looked. Like just like she was still trying to figure out what was on the script and all that. I'm just like. I'm like not only are you trying to be like this puppet for the party, but you can't even keep it. You can't even make it sound believable.
Yeah.
Uh, and I just like just seeing a lot of it. And then like then like maybe like a month two ago, he went and talked to the civil rights leaders behind closed doors. I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't think this audio was gonna get out, but whatever reason it got out. Showing Joe Biden just talking down to these civil rights leaders. If we had not seen his own, I bet y'all them say, yeah, we had a great meeting with him. He was wonderful. He really got really worked there. He's gonna do a lot of things for us. I'm pretty sure that's probably what some like what they would say. And you just talking down to you, telling you like, yeah, he's like, man, I'm not doing nothing for y'all. And then when, I mean, he's like, yeah, doing it for you. They'll try to say, I'm gonna spend my election. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna use my power to undo everything Trump has done. What's that? Well, we don't really. Most people don't really know what he's done, but because you put Trump's name in there, you're taking, he can just go and do that, and nobody's not gonna say nothing. But we don't know like what exactly you know good or bad thing do because he might have some good things he might actually did that didn't get noticed that he's taken away, but because no, everybody is all, oh yeah, we hate him, so give her anything that's associated with him. It just it won't even matter. Nobody will ask questions.
Yeah.
Which like I said, and of course, like with some people, oh well, you're supporting Trump because you're not you're not just hating him and not trying to. I'm like, I don't really care about who's on it because I'll be honest, I'm not on either politician side. I'm just like I'm trying to make it. make the argument fair, try to make it fair. Now, I mean, if it was on the other side, I'd be talking about the other side. But it's just like when it comes. I mean, I noticed this. Like it's like when it comes to when they want to make somebody a good guy, you put a Democrat in there. They're supposed to be the good guy, and then if you want somebody to be the bad guy, you put a Republican there. You want if you know like a whole lot of stuff is gonna go down, and 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 uh the Democrat ain't gonna be able to really smooth over that well. You put a Republican there, he's gonna take all the blame. Everybody's gonna hate him, and like especially with a really good distraction like Trump, like he's trolling on a daily basis, so it makes people even more irritated. I mean, more agitated with. So
Mhm.
now you got all of that. Say people just focus on them. So now, like when stuff goes down, ain't nobody really looking at what's really going on. They just want like, you did it, Trump. Yeah, we don't know how you did it, but you did it.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
But
Trump has had now. That's one thing he's been consistent throughout his life. Now maybe if we were speaking to any other person, but what you've seen is been him throughout, know, throughout his life.
Yeah, I mean, and then like I hear people say, well, he's so stupid and all that and all,
Oh,
and
no,
all that.
no.
I'm like, I say, can't be that stupid. He a billionaire. He said, you ain't no billionaire.
Mm,
He was like, well, he had his family money and all that. I'm like, even with his family money, it still take some intelligence to keep that money because I mean, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can easily lose all that money.
yeah. I don't know. I
I
think
Yeah,
um,
but even when I hear like so, oh, he was so racist because he denied black people during the '70s. I was like, that was the '70s. I'm pretty sure like a lot of white real estate companies were doing the exact same thing.
oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm like, I'm like,
Definitely they were.
yeah, I'm like, so how's that like just him doing it like it wasn't all the
Oh no,
white
it
people
ain't just him. It's just
right?
the
Yeah,
position that he decided to take.
yeah,
And then my issue with
right,
that is with him is that
yeah,
then, knowing the way he was, knowing who he was before he
yeah,
became president, and
right.
then try to make himself out to be, just like what what you mentioned with, how it's hard to forget um uh being called uh the predator. What is it? The super
Super
predator,
predator.
that's it. And,
Yeah,
hard to forget
yeah.
what he did to the Central Park 5. So for then him to try to now make himself out to be a friend of the black community is just no.
Well, I mean, Biden actually done
Oh
similar
yeah.
things. Like, yeah. When it came to segregation,
Oh, I agree. I agree
he
with you
signed,
there.
he signed, yeah, he signed with segregation. Matter of fact, talking about, oh, well, he's with the Klan and all that. I mean, one of Biden's mentors was a member of the Klan, Robert Byrd.
Mhm. Mhm. I
I
agree.
think, I think he was either a House or a Senator or something like that. But
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
was a
Oh yeah.
mentor.
Oh yeah.
But Biden tried to spin like, oh no, he was a Klan man. Like I say you were with him back in the '80s. Something like he couldn't have renounced him back then. Even if he
Mhm.
renounced him, like yeah, he couldn't have renounced him back then. But hey,
Oh, he's definitely not without problem. I
yeah,
mean, there's absolutely no doubt there.
I say Klan member, like not saying that was a grand wizard, but I looked at it, it didn't really wasn't really too much evidence pointing to it because fact checkers like, oh well, this saying this, so I'm gonna go with the fact checkers because fact checkers will be trying to get on you, say anything bad or you put
Mhm.
anything out that's bad. But like matter of fact, I think I had a video where it was like showing Joe Biden signing something. He was like, say, I didn't know what I was saying. And like, I had it up there for a while. Now, like, say, oh, the fact checker said, oh, this information is false. And it's like, I think and like think about it. No, I'm like, I'm like, nah. I said, no, y'all not pulling that. Talking about we don't know what exactly we said. Come on, come on now. I'm like, even if it's even if you know what they would say, that don't mean what he said was false. I'm just like, I was like, I said, just say what you really mean. It was like
Mhm,
I posted something that made Joe Biden look bad, and you don't want it on there. That's pretty much what it is. Just go and
mhm,
say that. Just say that.
mhm.
Don't sit there and tell me the information false because you'll let that sit there for a while. Now I guess it probably got around so much now. Now it's false now because I think it happened like probably like either early this morning or late last night. I was like, they got this video.
Mhm, mhm.
I was like, there's no false anything. That was word for word what he said. I was like, that was wasn't doctored. That was just clip taken from it. But, but it's kind of like it's like this censorship is gonna be getting worse. Like once they started taking out Trump's tweets and like and like I didn't I was like I didn't really see the tweet are taken down like but like my but like see over he taking a screenshot of what was there before it got deleted and it was pretty much like tweets that were on there. Trump was telling them to go home, go on peace. Like he said, hey, this ain't what we're doing, this ain't what it's about. And then I think he had a video saying a similar thing and Twitter deleted those tweets. Which I'm thinking like, okay, I mean I can see if it was like something that was like that could have been like deemed hate speech, but that wasn't even hate speech. I was like, I said, if he said something like, yeah, storm the, keep going back, go back and ride in the, go back, take
Well, no,
down the
he can't.
Capitol, or something like that. And
He can't say it openly, though.
huh?
I mean, what do you? He can't say it openly. I mean, what do you think the stand back, stand
Uh,
back, and stand by? What do you? I mean, that's
I,
pretty obvious.
well, I mean, I guess you could probably interpret that, but at the same time, I mean, as far as like from like like the legal perspective, I'm gonna take it like this, just try to be like kind of just trying to take it like as is. We say like yeah, that could be a term that mean to do something, but then at the same time, you say well that could mean they say that could mean anything. So and it's possible he could have told him to do it, but it just seemed like when they say that, and I think the stand back, stand by was like something else. I don't think they had to do with the capital. I think it's something else,
Hmm.
but but like with the capital, I said, I found it kind of odd that like they stormed it because I'm like thinking, okay, you storming the capital and like if Trump believes that he's been wrong, I'm like, well, last thing you want is something like that because that doesn't help your cause. So
Hmm.
it's like I'm thinking like, okay, well, it's like either they're not really his supporters and they might be some group that's doing their own thing. I mean, and or just yeah, it could probably could be that probably some group doing their own thing like that, but it just like if it's like the other possibility, I'm gonna, kind of do the other side of it just to be completely fair. Or he probably knows he's not gonna win, and then does that. But it's like if we take in fact that if we take account that like for what he says, he doesn't want he believes he's been cheated, and he wanted the counts to be to have everything recounted, which I mean the votes there didn't even, I mean didn't even matter anyway. But he wanted the counts there, and he's trying to win it. last thing you want to do is have people rush in there and go do it. But the thing about it was, I mean, they ain't even had to rush in there because they had cops said on it, let them in. The cops let them in.
Yeah, and the fact
So
that he okay, I don't have a problem with him challenging
yeah,
challenging the vote.
right.
But and why did you pick just specific counties?
I mean, it could be like maybe they had like the amount of votes that they might need to turn it over. I don't know, but
I
I
mean,
mean,
it just doesn't seem
right.
okay.
I mean,
If you're gonna
yeah,
challenge it, count all the votes in the
right,
entire state,
right.
not
I
just
mean,
one particular county.
right. I mean, and and what you said, like, it's to the point, like, I just kind of look at this all as like one big act because they dragged this thing out like almost through a whole week, and I'm just like, okay, so I guess it's gonna be like America's next president. Oh, that's really like, oh yeah, find out. Oh yeah, we're doing the tallies. Oh yeah, find out. Okay. It's okay.
America's next
What?
president.
Yeah, we don't know who's gonna be president yet. We're still getting up the tallies. But join us in join us in tomorrow to see if we get these votes tallied in and find out who our president is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a big thing. Next president. I mean,
America's next president. Oh my God. Now you definitely win. You win for that one. Oh my God.
it's a reality show. It's like because like think about the pandemic, so like they needed something to keep people's attention on that, and I guess they figured they dragged on long enough. So like, okay, well we're gonna pick who we already had picked anyway, but we wanted everybody to think that that we were just taking our time trying to figure it out. Cause like they have those like they select president. They're not elected.
Yeah.
They already been picked. So I was like, I mean, when I be like, this whole these politics say, well, you gotta vote, your vote counts and all that. I'm like, why are you lying to people like that? I mean, as far as like the local level, yeah, that's like pretty much where your vote will actually count. But but when it comes to like more like the state levels, like senators and all that, yeah, you can vote, but it's like it's really hard to tell, like how the count votes and counts and all that. I mean, you say well the machines do all that and all that, but you know, we don't know exactly if if they're even doing it fairly. Like they could, it's just kind of hard to actually tell. Like if they had a machine, like the machines could. Even if it was done fairly, the machines could mess up. So it's like, and the only other way you really could make sure is you physically count it. Ain't none of them physically counting all them votes.
Mhm.
Not in the amount of time that they would want it to have a quick answer and all that. So I like know like yeah, this they're like picking who they want to because like even the president, if like the president, even though like president has the least amount of power anyway, but think about this: if he did have that much power, like it's just like he's still being controlled by like other groups of people. So it's like, yeah, he can't really. He can't really. The president really can't do anything without Congress because Congress
Right.
really have all the power. As far as like laws and all that, it was like, well, the president can sign them. Yeah, he can sign them, but even if he don't sign them and Congress wants them, all it needs is 2/3 of the votes, and they can pass it out the president.
Mhm. Mhm.
Say, well, the executive orders. The executive orders kind of like powers given to him. So when I be here like, well, oh, Trump's a dictator. I'm like, no, not really. Talking about where we're in a dictatorship. I say we weren't before. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because I'm like, you had, I mean, you had like, well, you
It
had
just
like
had
the
it
basic.
had better dressing.
Yeah, I mean, they give you the illusion. They get good. They give you a good illusion of freedom. Like that's like why they won't do certain stuff because they know like how people react. Like I mean, it's like even if they want to make you take something, they don't. They don't actually physically go in there and make you take it. They do other stuff to make it sound like, oh, you had a choice, but we doing this. You had a choice. So like but let's say hypothetically, let's say like the vaccine or something. If they really want to take the vaccine, they won't bring people out and force it on you because then that kind of just wakes people up and make people want to rebel against the government. And then they'll have a whole problem of trying to keep the people there, and it just makes it worse. Just like a whole lot of trouble. They got to watch it, and then they have to watch out for the people. Now they have to be on constant alert, so they don't really want people to come in them like that much and make them on constant alert. So like it's like another way they'll do it. They'll like say, hey, if you don't want to take it, well then you can't go back to your job unless you have some kind of proof that you took it or something like that. And they say you have the choice to not do it, but if you don't, don't get this card where you can't work, can't go into the stores, you can't do certain things. So so it made people say, well, you had the choice, but you didn't want to do it. So we didn't make you do it.
They didn't physically force you to do it.
They force you to do it without actually, without seeming like they forced you to do it. So
Right.
wait. They say, oh well, you forced to do it. Say, well, that's your perspective, but we didn't put a gun to your head.
Hmm.
It's a slick way. It's like make it like I said, it's making the person think they had a choice to begin with, but they never really did. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. When people like talking about, well, it's gonna be a civil war, it's like, not gonna be no civil war here. I know they want to have people think it's gonna be. It's not because because like they do everything that like make it seem like it's a war. It's just gonna it's gonna wake people up. It's gonna make people be more aware of what's going on. And like last thing the government wants people to do is to wake up and rise up against them.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I'm like like I said, like I was playing earlier, like yeah, like that's like too many problems for them, like because
99 problems and the people are one.
right, come on.
Oh, let me stop.
But yeah, I think this year go probably good. Just like I think like both said, like just what you make out of it.
Yeah.
But but
Yep.
yeah, just as long as we try to just try to do what we need to do to make it. I mean, now if if you just don't want to do anything, you want to sit around out there because I mean now like because like first they had them stimulus checks, them stimulus checks, and I knew why they gave out the stimulus checks like that. They ain't like check out everything. They wanted people to stay in the house because they would say, well, we're gonna have people we have people stay at home, so we need them to stay in the house, but and they knew like yeah, well these people ain't getting paid, so if we have them tell them sit in the house and then I get any money to go out and buy food and stuff like that, they're gonna stand around like even though because of the virus, they gonna risk it. Like man, I'm hungry. I need to get some. So like
Hmm.
at some point, if they can't get a job, they're gonna be like, well, we're gonna go ahead and go in these stores and start taking stuff. Like so, people probably start. got together and started, riding and started, going there, and ransacking the stores.
Right.
So so they like, well, we're gonna give them like $600, like give them these $600 checks or however much they want to give, maybe 700, 800, 900, whatever to pay. So we'll give these checks so they can just stay in the house, you know, their house, they'll be able to get money, get something to eat, and then just let them get TV and the internet and all that, cause I think like some companies like say, yeah, we're gonna give you free internet for a while, cause they keep the internet, so like, hey, you can stay, watch TV, be on your phone, you know, on the computer, whatever, and just stay in the house and be calm. Don't go out here and riot.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I mean they kept that going for a while. And I mean, and it worked pretty good until I think like that whole George Floyd thing, and then they started I don't know if it was George Floyd or somebody else, but but then they started then like some of the protesters did start attacking the store. I don't know if necessarily the protesters, might have been some other group, but they were claiming their protesters because like and like interesting about it, I remember hearing some of the things. I mean, Trump supporters. I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, I didn't hear it from like directly from them, but I'd heard it from like a video for them. They were saying like that some of that like the Trump protesters out at the Capitol. They said like they were outside. They were protesting. They said like it's like there were people trying to get people to go in, and they kept saying, "No, we ain't doing that." Thing they kind of told them like to f off or something like that. They kept constantly telling them to do it until like it's like, okay, well they ain't gonna do it, so it's going to open up the doors. And and then I guess like whoever was trying to orchestrate, kind of brought the actual protesters in there. And I mean, I'm pretty sure there probably might be some out there, but I don't know how true it is or not. But if it is, like, that's kind of messed up, because because like they already have like a bad picture painted on them, and now you have this added on there. And the thing about it is like, the people are not going to try to figure out what's the truth or not for the most part. If they're not if they're not considered conservative or part or Republican Party, if they're not a supporter of Trump or whatever. So it's like you're pretty much not gonna be believed for the most part. I mean, like, I mean, yeah, that and then like if you have an open mind, open perspective about like certain things, yeah. Other than that, you're not gonna be believed. And I mean, and like this whole censorship thing, while on that, it's just like it just got out of control. And like thing about it was, I remember Silver did a video saying, like, did a video talking about it. He was like saying, yeah, he said, yeah, they censored Trump. They banned him off of there. People were happy to have him off of there, everything like that. He was like, yeah, they got him off of there. He said, but you're next. And what he meant by it was like, if you let this get through, now now you giving them a free, now they gave them a reason to start taking out more people if you're cool with this. So it's like, yeah, you it's pretty much more like, you give them an inch, they take a mile type of situation.
But now, is it that they've already been doing that
I
to
I mean, I
us
know they are.
for the longest?
Yeah, I
And
mean, yeah,
this is a
I know.
private company. I mean, since they're
Yeah,
so private.
yeah, yeah. I know that. I know that. But I'm like saying it. It's like it's now giving them a reason to really just start doing it without people really question it. Because I remember seeing a clip from CNN. They were talking about like YouTubers. They thought, oh yeah, man, these some of these YouTubers, have like all these platforms that are bigger than ours and all that, and they have like these radical views. As I wish Facebook and Twitter and all social medias would just take these people off of here and all that. And I'm just like, I mean, and like like the people that were looking at this that were looking at the video, because they were talking about that particular video that CNN did, and it was like saying, like, no, that's your fault. If YouTubers have bigger platforms, they say that's your fault. That you didn't get it because they were saying like that. People as far as like trust the news. It's like saying that he was saying that it wasn't even 20% of people that actually trust the media now, and when they talk about saying like like the these YouTubers have or like or yeah the YouTube influencers whatever they say, oh well, they have radical views. I'm like, yeah, that term radical is pretty vague because because like you could say anything is it's radical. It's like if you're not going to define what it is, that means you're just using that. You're trying to use that. You try to have them use that as a way to get rid of people. It's like, oh yeah, you don't you disagree with the color I like. You're a radical. We need to get
Mhm.
rid of you. I mean that.
Anything that's different from the established the established status quo is going to be seen as radical. Anything
Yeah,
that is different from the so-called majority who have placed themselves in the position to be seen as the majority, yeah, anything that's threatening their, that's getting more than they are, you're going to be seen as radical.
exactly. And I'm just like, well, I mean,
Even if you ain't.
right,
Just
right. I
that
mean, yeah.
perception.
Well, and you ain't really got to even do anything with the stats, but just because just the fact that you have a bigger platform, they feel like you may you may have they feel like you might have certain views that they feel like may challenge them, may really challenge them one day. They feel like they just get rid of you. So it's like I mean the fact that they were even proposing that was just like, okay, this I think this is where it's gonna start because like I mean I think like right now they're just really cracking down on anybody that's conservative or anybody that voted for Trump, like certain companies. I'm like you shouldn't just do it just because they support her. I mean they just support a certain person. Like now they support and they doing something that okay, that could be considered bad. That's one thing, but if
If you
it's
threatening that bottom line, honey, they going to find a way to shut it down.
yeah,
That's what it's about. It's about them Benjamins.
I mean that's how you doing it. I'm like, well, if you and you got like kind of like Facebook and Instagram, which I mean, it's like I wish I could, stop use Instagram, but I mean, people, I have people there, including you that I contact through this. So I'm like, well, I wish I could just get rid of this, just like with their new policies, which new policies pretty much like if you have Instagram on your phone, I guess, or whatever device you got it on, it's like they get, they pretty much got the right to look through all your stuff, all your information. So like
Mhm.
if you're on your phone and you have Instagram and you didn't take it off your phone or whatever, yeah, they can look at all your apps and everything like that. Like all your contacts, all your messages, everything.
Yeah.
That was in the new terms agreement that was I think it came in December the 14th, I think.
Mhm.
But I was like, well, he said, what if you said, well, if you don't take it off, you agree to it. So it's just like, wow, okay. So so now you're doing this. I'm like, I like, I just, I mean, just a vague surprise.
Which it
Then,
does
like,
surprise me
yeah,
that has come along, because Facebook, they're owned by Facebook. That's what Facebook was doing.
yeah. I mean, it's like think about it. When they want to get like information out like that, I know they work for the government. They gotta be, cause like it's like you getting all of that info, and they work so hard to gain so much info. I was like, well. I was like, well, you doing all this. It's like, man, you really come, you really, want to know all this stuff, I mean, I mean, and you got so many people like willing to put put so much personal information out there. Like, I'm like, why are you doing it? But they do it. I remember seeing one comedian who like he was like making a joke. He was like saying that he's like pretty much social media has made privacy uncool.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's like, yeah, you're right. Cause cause like even when you let's say, well, you gotta say, well, I want my privacy. Well, he said, well, if you ain't got nothing to hide, you don't have to worry about it. So it's not about having nothing to hide. It's about somebody, going through stuff. That's like saying, well, you know, well, they say you should leave your door open. You know, it's like Rob said, you should leave your door open. He said, well, I don't want you coming to my house. So I said, if you ain't got nothing valuable in there, you should have nothing to worry about. It's like, what kind of sense that make?
Mhm. Mhm.
it's like, yeah, it's like the whole world. I don't want you here. That's the
Yeah.
point. I mean, and like they had like the Patriot Act, which a few years ago got renewed, and now it's called uh, renewed by the Freedom Act, which they renewed it by that, and like wow, and like pretty sure a lot of people didn't hear about it because at the time they were I think legal gay marriage had just been put in effect across the country, so people were arguing about that. So while people worried about that, they just have gone in and passed it. And I only found out about that through alternative media.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Of course, mainstream media go cover that because
Oh no.
I mean that's like when I look at stuff like okay, they're straight like okay, they want to focus on one thing. I'm like when everything else, okay, what bill they passed or what's going on that they don't want us to see. They want the people to see that they're doing because I was like, they must be doing something they ain't got no business doing, and if they didn't have a distraction away, people would be just looking at them. That's why governments always do this whole divide and conquer thing. They always try to split people into different types of groups. That's how stuff like racism comes into like sexism starts coming into it, feminism, all this type of isms used to divide people, to keep people arguing with one another. Now, I mean, of course, like probably people could find something to argue about each other, argue with each other, but they make it easier for people to do that. They make it easier to create more division. And if you create division between all the different people, especially around the country, you run and you supposedly run a country, you're going to you're going to benefit from it because nobody's paying attention to what you're doing because they too busy arguing with each other,
Yeah.
worry about what this person doing, that person doing. So you can do a lot of stuff. I mean, it's like it's the divide and conquer technique. They divide people up, and by doing that, they 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 keep you distracted, they keep you alive because and then on top of that, even with all this and all that, they create they create policies to give certain benefits to certain groups and one and they don't give certain benefits to other groups.
Mhm.
So like another way that keeps them as pacified too. 'Cause like, oh well, I got these benefits and they ain't got no, well, if that one group getting benefits and this other group and help this other group will keep it from us getting their benefits, they're gonna go with the group that will give benefits. So you're threatening a good thing here. Why would I help you? Why would I help you get benefits if I'm getting these benefits and the moment I help you, I'm not gonna give it anymore? What are you gonna do?
Mhm.
So it just
Yeah.
yeah, just something to think about.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Always
yeah.
stuff to examine and yep.
All right. Well,
Mm.
I think we've been on here long enough.
Yeah, we've had a very, very good and enlightening conversation.
Yes, I appreciate you being here. I mean, yeah, of course, I appreciate Uppy coming here. I know Patty wanted to get up on here, she couldn't. I appreciate her for coming through nonetheless. And I'm gonna get a shout out, and then I guess we'll end it there. Shout out to Nasura Lil Ra, shout out to K Unspoken Words, of course Pandy. Shout out to Ben Stanker, shout out to Love Blake, shout out to Ciova, shout out to Ariel, and shout out to Karma. So thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate everyone. So I guess like I'll be having a more I guess I'll be having, like I mentioned before, my schedule's gonna be changing. So like if you're expecting me to be here, probably more afternoon, probably won't be happening as I mean not I mean I'll probably be at afternoon, but probably evening time, like maybe like 7 or 8. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be here, but I won't be doing YouTube. But I mean, I'll probably be doing more stuff maybe in the morning or mid morning or noon or afternoon. So I might be doing more stuff then. So I mean, probably look after that. But like Sundays, I'll definitely be had a whole day to myself. But other than that, thank y'all for coming through. Wholeness and balanced vibrations, people. And I'll see you guys later. Have a great night.